I used to think nothing could scare me more than getting lost. That was before I stepped into the cornfield. I grew up in rural Nebraska, in a house that looked small against miles of farmland. Every morning, I biked to school along the same cracked road, the kind that hums beneath your tires. My parents worked long hours, so the road was mine, quiet, predictable, safe. Between our house and the school stretched a massive cornfield. At least, it seemed massive to a kid. My parents had one rule: never cut through it. They said it was easy to lose your sense of direction, and without a phone, you could wander for hours. I believed them. For years, I stayed on the road. One afternoon, the chain on my bike slipped loose halfway home. It clattered against the frame, and no matter how I tugged, twisted, or cursed under my breath, it refused to snap back in. I was alone, and the walk home around the field would take forever. Then I looked at the corn. Endless gold-green rows whispering in the wind. A straight line through would save at least 30 minutes. I told myself I would just go straight, keep the sun behind me, and I would come out on the other side. So I broke the only rule my parents had ever really cared about. At first, it was almost peaceful. The dirt between the stalks was soft beneath my shoes. The air was thick with the smell of earth and husks. The sound of the road disappeared behind me, swallowed by the rustle of leaves. The deeper I went, the darker it grew. The sunlight above fractured into thin ribbons that barely touched the ground. The corn muffled every sound until I could hear my own heartbeat. I told myself not to look back, but I did, again and again, just to make sure nothing was there. That was when I heard it. A faint rustling, maybe 20 feet to my left. I froze, listening. The wind had stopped. Whatever the sound was, it was not the breeze. Then, silence again. I told myself it was a rabbit, or maybe a raccoon. But when I started walking, the noise started too, soft at first, then sharper. Footsteps, matching mine. I gripped my handlebars like a weapon and quickened my pace. The sound quickened too. My throat was dry. I whispered my own name under my breath, as if hearing something human would make me feel less alone. That was when I saw movement ahead, a flicker between the rows, the outline of a figure stepping into the path. A man. He stood completely still, arms loose at his sides, head tilted slightly, as if he were listening to the air. His clothes were torn and streaked with dirt. Across his forearms were long, pale marks, like scratches that had healed badly. When he spoke, his voice came out low and dry, like something scraped against stone. "Are you lost?" I did not answer. Every part of me wanted to run, but my legs would not move. He took a step forward. "I can help you find your way," he said. Another step. His hands began to rise, slow, deliberate. That was when I ran. I dropped the bike and sprinted down the row, pushing through the stalks, branches cutting my arms. Behind me, I heard him shout, "Wait! I just want to help you." And the sound of crashing leaves followed. The corn swallowed me. I could not tell which way I was going anymore. I turned corners, ducked through rows, crouched behind the thickest stalks, praying he would not see me. For a moment, I thought he had stopped chasing me. Then I heard his voice again, closer this time. "I will find him." He was holding something, a rope, dragging along the dirt as he walked. I buried my face in my knees and stayed silent. My heart beat so loudly, I was sure he could hear it. Time stretched, minutes or hours, I could not tell. Finally, his footsteps faded. The corn was still again. When I crawled out of that field, the sky was already turning purple. I stumbled home with empty hands, covered in dust, shaking so hard I could barely breathe. My parents were on the porch when I reached the house. My mother burst into tears. My father went pale, then angry. I told them everything. He drove back toward the field with a flashlight, but the bike was gone. For a while, we tried to forget. They bought me a new bike. I took the road again. Life moved forward. Until the evening, 2 weeks later, when I came home from school and saw something leaning against our front porch. My old bike, the one I left in the corn. The chain was fixed, the tires clean, as if someone had taken care of it. My mother gasped. My father carried it to the barn and locked the doors. The next morning, we started packing. Within a month, we had left Nebraska. I have not seen another cornfield since, but sometimes, when I hear the wind move through tall grass, I swear I can still hear his voice, quiet, somewhere behind me. I will find him